Hey everybody, welcome to the Real United States, and welcome to another installment of our Q&A segment that we've added to our channel. This is going to appear every Wednesday. At least that's our intent at this point. As long as you keep sending in questions, we're going to try to keep doing this. And so I missed a question last week, not intentionally. It just got missed. And so I'd like to cover it now. It's from one of our fans, who actually is also a fan on our Facebook page. Mark Lissick is asking me about what about filming a local sporting event. Well, Mark, if you mean a professional event, that's probably out of the question, because obviously all the leagues and the teams, they own all the rights to these things and they guard them very, very carefully. If, however, you mean by local, you mean a non-professional sport, a softball game, a soccer game, or something like that, I'll certainly look into that. I don't know what the opportunities are in this particular area. You know, we've only lived here in the DC area for about 6 months now. And since I don't play any sports, I don't know of any right off the top of my head, nor do we have, children at home that play sports. But I do know there are some that soccer, or what the rest of the world calls football, but we call soccer here in the United States, is relatively popular here in the area. A lot of the guys that I work with, they play soccer, and there might be an opportunity there. So I'll see about something like that. I don't really know, but we'll see what we can do. So thanks a lot, Mark. Next question. This comes from AW2. So, hey. And they've actually asked multiple questions. I'm going to spend a little while on this one. I'm sort of wanting to know more about your life. Next is how you got into YouTube, and how your wife feels about all this stuff. She works as hard or harder than you, which is true. And maybe you should be the camera person and let her do a video as the speaker on a video. Just a simple idea suggestion. AW2, we're going to start with that one, the last part first. I am relatively comfortable on camera, and Beverly is not. She doesn't care to be on camera. She likes being a cinematographer, and so we've both gravitated to the roles that we enjoy the most. Now, Bev does appear on camera from time to time, and when she feels like she wants to or is willing to, I'm always glad to have her on air instead of me or with me. And we try to do that from time to time. But again, we've fallen into the roles that we feel most comfortable with. She's by far a superior videographer to me. And you can always tell when I've got the camera, because it's just not as good a shot or not as stable of a shot. And yeah, this is kind of hard to say because she's standing behind the camera right now. But and I'm the talker. So it's really, I'm just chatty, and that's why it's best that we do the roles for the most part the way we're doing. And when the opportunity comes up where it's a good fit and she wants to be on camera, then she'll be in front of the camera. How did I get? I'm working backwards on these. How did I get to YouTube? Okay, well, I don't know, 3 years or so ago, we decided it might be fun to try and start a YouTube channel, just kind of as a hobby. And we started a channel. I was actually trying to teach political science, although I'm not a political scientist. I was trying to teach political science with no political bent, strictly the facts about how government works and how things work in the government. And we had a lot of fun doing that, but it's kind of dry subject matter. It's not something a lot of people are interested in. It's like, who wants to go back to school and take poli-sci over again? Well, then in the fall of 2012, I was just looking at YouTube videos, and I came across this channel just by chance, Real Russia, with Sergei Baklikov. And he'd only been on for like 4 weeks. It wasn't even a full month. It was 4 weeks. And I just was so impressed with what he was doing. Hey, this is life the way it really is. in our world, this is how our country is and our culture and our people, and this is, just normal people. I was so impressed with that idea that I thought it was, hey, this is something substantive. Substantive. And so I went, that is an excellent idea, and that's something we should be doing here in our country as well. So, I mean, Real Russia was the inspiration for us to start this second channel, and the other channel kind of went the way of the dodo bird. And we just really have enjoyed, going out and showing normal life. There was so much material. It's literally infinite, and we soon discovered that there's a lot of things that even people in our own country. Hey, I've never been to that part of the country, or I've never seen that thing, or knew about that event or whatever. So it was very easy to have almost infinite fodder for the next episode. And lastly, a little bit more about my life. I don't know that I've lived that exciting of a life. I spent a great deal of my career as a mechanical designer and engineer, and then over the last couple of decades, I've spent most of my efforts as a technical writer for various industries. I don't know. I never think my life is really that bloody interesting. I graduated the University of Central Florida in Orlando with a Bachelor of Science degree, and woohoo, go Knights. And pretty much that's it. I sit in a little room and I write things. I don't know. As I said earlier, I'm not a sports aficionado. I don't play any sports. If I have free time away from work, I spend it with my wife, and we live a fairly quiet life outside of YouTube. When it comes to making our videos, then we're out in the public, and I'm waving my arms and talking in public, and people are trying to photobomb me and whatnot. But our life away from the camera is, pretty mundane. We do the things that families do. We cook and we watch television or movies or whatever, and we do pretty normal stuff. There's not really a great deal about my life to tell you that's exciting. Sorry. I'm just not an exciting guy. But thanks a lot for the questions. Ernie Spaniel. Ernie, thanks for writing in a question. Thanks for buying my book. That was nice of you. What happened to the chickens in Florida? Okay, the chickens weren't in Florida. We started this channel, Real United States, when we were in Florida in 2012. And then when we left Florida, we moved to Michigan. It was in Michigan where we actually bought chicks and raised chickens. And then when it came time that we knew we were going to be leaving Michigan, because it's the nature of what I do. I'm a consultant, so I usually move around a bit. That we knew we were going to be moving again. There was a local farmer that we knew who already had a great number of chickens and ducks and geese and these sort of things. And he was more than happy to take the chickens and care for them so that they could continue laying eggs. So we gave them away to a farmer who had the facilities to care for them. I do miss them. I miss my girls. But that's what happened to the chickens when we left Michigan. Bev signaling that she misses the chickens too. Yeah, we loved our chickens. Thanks a lot, Ernie. Now, this is one of our loyal viewers, and I have always had difficulty trying to pronounce your name, and I want to apologize for that in advance. Firdos Idros, I think. And this is a great feature from you. Thank you. And he's got some questions. Besides your fellow Russian YouTuber, Real Russia, do you have any other inspirations to start this channel? Well, Sergey definitely was the dude who inspired us to start the channel. We have had a number of other people over the last couple of years that have inspired us to do certain things or to keep going. There are certain YouTubers that I definitely have felt some inspiration from. We've made some great friendships with them, and you've seen some of them on our. They've been nice enough to appear on some of our videos. But the Real Russia was the one that basically got us into this channel. And initially, our inspiration in the previous channel was just the desire to do something that was substantive, that had some meaning, some value. And now the next part of his question, this is, do you feel that by this channel and every social media that we have, you're actually doing some kind of diplomacy as the embassies do, but in a citizen scale and perspective? I like to believe that we are. I like to believe that we are doing some good, that we are promoting some goodwill. And I think that Sergey, if he were here with me, would agree that we both believe in promoting peace and understanding, literally understanding. If you understand more about your neighbors and about the people around you and the people of the world, it's a lot easier to understand what is going on in the world, and it's a lot harder to hate people if you understand more about them. So I like to believe that, yes, on some microscopic level, that we are emissaries to the world for our country. Many YouTubers, I think, try to do that same thing. So I don't think we're unique in that respect, but certainly that is an important part of what we believe in our mission. So yes, and thank you. Zadia Jorat has a question here. She's wanting to know about any reason why most YouTube and TV channels mainly focus on either the East Coast or the West part of the country. Rarely the Southwest is just shown or even mentioned, although most of the states are close or share a border with Mexico. Okay, it's a pretty simple mathematics. The population densities are closest to the coasts on both coasts of our country. Huge populations in especially the Northeast and in the extreme West in California. The population density is the greatest. People there, there's a greater statistical likelihood of people creating content because there's more people and because they want to create content that people can relate to. So the greatest number of people live there. They're going to make content about there because it's going to have the greatest appeal. That's not to say that there isn't a large number of videos about the American Southwest or the heartland of the country, the Midwest. There are. But yes, a lot of certainly movies and TV, and YouTube, I suppose, to a lesser extent, come from the coast, and that's why, because that is where the population densities are, and that is where also the interest. Story is for, by, and about people. And so if you're going to make a movie or you're going to make a story about characters, about people, they're going to probably be in an area that the greatest number of people can relate to, a high population area. So that's why the coastal areas, and people just gravitate to water. That's a psychological thing that's probably beyond the purview of this, but that's why. Shani Brilwin, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you for telling me how to pronounce that. Okay, if you're seeing this, hopefully you saw our previous episode from Monday about the food trucks. And this is one of the many things that Shani has asked us about, natural places and also street food, which is what we did. So Shani, I really appreciate that. We did manage to get out and do that. If the rest of you have not seen that, it turned out pretty good. I was pleased with the result, and so thanks for writing that in. And now, if any of the rest of you, anybody's got new questions, you got more questions, whatever, I'd certainly love to hear them. Put them down in the comment section below. Send them to me on Facebook, on Twitter, email them to our email address, however you feel comfortable. Email's not the greatest thing because I get an enormous amount of email and sometimes things get lost. probably your best bet is right down here in the comments or on Facebook on our fan page. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here for our Q&A segment on the Real United States. Please, questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below. I really do love hearing from all of you. It really makes my day to have this interaction with everybody out there. And so please feel free to just even stop by and say hi. We love to hear from y'all. And as always, thank you for watching.